Mzazi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, speaking all things anxiety, and maybe this next topic might bring a lot of that to you, but don't worry, we got you covered, because buying your first home is undoubtedly one of life's greatest pleasures. For many, that can be agreed on, but it is also one of the biggest financial commitments you'll ever have to make, and that can bring on anxiety. But in today's Our Money Matters chat, we are excited to welcome Ross Levin. He's the Managing Director for CEEF Atlantic Seaboard as well as City Bowl, and he knows a thing or two about buying a home. So, if you're in the market, listen up, Mzazi. Ross, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers.
Yes.
I mean, you got it, dude. You got the strip. You got the strip.
If it was a Monopoly board, I have the streets you would want.
Exactly, dude. I hope that isn't lost on you every day when you sit and have coffee.
I'm 100% aware of it. Position.
So congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know so many people interested in this because it has become a different dynamic. Let's start with the practicality, though. If we've gotten to that point, our budget's right, our life path has brought us there, we want to buy, what's that first step? Do we go for a pre-approved? How do we approach that entering into the space? Because it feels like there are little hookups and hang-ups along the way.
Sure. So I definitely think that the first place, assuming that you are using mortgage to finance your property, which most first-time buyers are, is that you want to start and make sure that you are pre-approved. For two reasons. One, it puts you in a stronger position when you actually put in your offer.
Okay.
And two, it avoids the disappointment of finding this magnificent property you just can't afford.
Oh, the heartbreak.
So we work closely with Uber Home Loans. You could go onto their website. They've got calculators online. You can see your affordability. You can see your monthly repayments. It puts you in touch with a consultant so you can check your credit record. They'll also advise you what to do, because even once you're pre-approved, you don't want to go and do things such as buy a car or take a massive overseas holiday, which also affects your credit rating when applying for a bond.
Now, you took out a personal loan for solar, and then it's, you know?
Exactly. So there's a natural place to start.
Yeah, now, I know I've gone through this process, and I was so excited. You get pre-approved, and that's a great way to kind of determine your budget, like what you can and cannot afford. But then you get into this aspect of like, okay, cool, so I've got X amount. I want to buy this house, but then there's these things like hidden costs and upfront costs, and the lawyer's fees and the agency fees. There is a lot that goes on into the sale that you need to be aware of, because that can really affect your purchasing power and the decisions you make, right? What are these costs? And maybe you can lay it out for some of the first-time potential buyers out there, people trying to understand this.
I think it's more a case of forgotten costs than hidden costs, because
it's called denial.
We all know that there are taxes that you have to pay. So let's first, there are two taxes.
Yes.
So firstly, if you're buying from a VAT registered entity, such as a developer, there's VAT included in the price.
Okay.
If you aren't, then there's transfer duty to contend with. So 1.1 million and below, no transfer duty. So you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
The moment you go over the 1.1 million, it's a sliding scale depending on the purchase price. And it's for the sake of just using an example, say it's about 1.2 million, well then your transfer duty is about 30,000 Rand on that amount. On top of that, your bond origination cost can also be about 30,000 Rand. Then you've also got your conveyancing fees, which are to get the title into your own name, can also be 30,000 Rand. So that's an extra about 100,000 Rand before you've moved, set up, bought furniture and so forth. And if you are budgeting, one of the things that I would recommend is also create a little safe kitty for you in case something goes wrong, to limit the anxiety that you're talking about today.
That is a great tip. Yeah.
A great businessman said to me, and a big property holder said, time heals all wounds if you can afford to feed the meter. So you want to give yourself capacity to feed the meter, which stops you from having to be a distressed seller.
I like that.
I absolutely love it. I'm trying to envision you having a, let's talk about your budget with some of the homeowners that you guys have sold to, and I'd like to know what the fees were on the last property you sold, just that. Now, we won't get into the laundry here, but with all of these costs, with interest rates going up, how do we actually budget for the future? Because a property is a long-term relationship with debt, and you need to think about that. How do we set that up?
Well, again, that comes down to the kitty that I was talking about, that you want to be able to absorb interest rates escalating, losing your job, economic situations, to prevent you from ever being a forced seller, which obviously affects your pricing. But you do know when you're purchasing your property, you want to also put down, ideally, a deposit to limit that amount of exposure on your mortgage. Most first-time home buyers can access 100% bonds, so they have gone there. It's challenging because they bought it like 7%, and we're now sitting over 11%.
It's hurting at the moment, especially these repayments. But again, Ross, this is a conversation that we are all loving right now, and especially for you, Mzansi, it's something I want you to pay attention to, because this is something that can allow you to purchase a home with less anxiety. If you take these costs into account and you budget correctly, this could potentially be a stress-free situation. That's if you pay attention to Ross. We're going to carry on this conversation in just a bit. He's going to join us and share some more valuable advice on how to negotiate the best deal and whether now is a good time to buy or not.
You must be wondering how I got here, ne? Enjoying bomadi sushi, that you fucking knife over bubbles of sparkling water. But I didn't know the changes, Joe. Because I chose NEDBANK, the bank that gives you discount upon discount in this country. I call it a bank with benefits, eh? Yeah. Value guaranteed. Seriously? Seriously.